Hello, this is Eileen, the environmental educator, and in this video we're going to talk about a problem that's a situation that's not talked about a lot, but they say the world is running out of sand. This is Tomorrow Investor. Right here, CNBC, a sand shortage. The world is running out of a crucial but underappreciated commodity. Well, this is March 2021, but it also right here, the UN, of course, they're never going to get, never going to bypass an opportunity to talk about a problem that we have that, they've proven they can't solve. But right here, this is February 2022, and it's the BBC. And why the world is running out of sand. And this really has most of the best information that is in all of these little blurbs here. It says that modern uses, and we use it in most everything. Sand is just right. What did they say? Underappreciated. Yeah, very underappreciated, because most people don't even know how much of it they use. Right here, sand is the world's most consumed raw material after water. After water, okay? And an essential ingredient to our everyday lives. Yet, right here, the world is facing a shortage. And they say that there's a problem with keeping up with the demand, and yeah, it is just really multiplying in demand from they say here the insatiable global appetite for sand is a problem. And they say our entire society is built on sand. It is, right, again, the world's most consumed raw material after water. And they say that it is the primary substance in the construction of roads, bridges, high-speed trains, and even land regeneration projects. So, and then, right, they also say here that sand, gravel, and rock crushed together are silicone chips uses sand. But the world is facing a shortage. Like oil, like anything, has its grades. And it's really interesting because import sand from Australia. That's right. Exporters in Australia are literally selling sand to the Arabs, okay? Because desert sand is largely useless to us. Far exceeds the natural rate at which sand is being replenished by the weathering of rocks by wind and water. So, yeah, we are another natural resource that we are using beyond the rate of replenishment. And right here it says that desert sand grains, all sand has different characteristics and qualities. And, with the explosion of construction over in the Middle East, especially Dubai, and even those islands that they build, these articles talk about how much the islands that nations are building to create more land just simply out of sand. Okay, that's taking up a lot of sand that's being used, and it says that typically it is sourced and extracted from seabeds, coastlines, quarries, and rivers around the world. But that has a bunch of problems that are in the BBC article, one of which is sand mafias. Yeah, sand is becoming such a commodity that They say that some people have been killed over it. They talk about that in some of these articles here. So it's a very, right here, under talked about issue. And, but this is very important because we use sand in everything from the construction of our roads and sidewalks and homes and every bit of glass that you use. It's definitely the world's second most consumed raw material. So this BBC article is kind of interesting, right? They talk about 2 Indian villagers killed in a gun battle and a Mexican environmental activist murdered in June. They're relating it to over sand. So it says that, right, sand, a critical ingredient in our lives, even though it may seem trivial. It is the primary raw material that modern cities are made of. The concrete used to construct shopping malls, offices, apartment blocks along with the asphalt we use to build roads connecting them are largely just sand and gravel glued together. The glass in every window, windshield, and smartphone screen is made of melted down sand. Even the silicon chips inside our phones and computers, along with virtually every other piece of electronic equipment in your home, are made from sand. Lakes and on the seashore. The demand for that material is so intense that around the world, riverbeds and beaches are being stripped bare and farmlands and forests torn up to get at the precious grains. And in a growing number of countries, criminal gangs have moved into the trade, spawning an often lethal black market in sand. The main driver, sand from the seafloor each year, piling it up in coastal areas to create land where there was none before. Right, and they talk about the Dubai's palm-shaped tree islands and the world, which I just saw a video about that nobody's really moved on to, and the islands are starting to fall apart. But oh yeah, I watched a documentary about the making of it and how much sand they were using and dredging. But all of that dredging comes at a cost. It tears up marine habitat. Okay, so fishermen in Malaysia and Cambodia have seen their livelihoods decimated by the dredging. In China, land reclamation has wiped out coastal wetlands, annihilated habitats for fish and shorebirds, and increased water pollution. But, it gets even worse because they talk about, it's down here, houses, okay, but in addition to that, sand extraction from rivers has also caused untold millions of dollars in damage to infrastructure around the world, stirred up sediment clogs from the water supply and equipment, and removing all that material from the riverbanks leaves the foundations of bridges exposed and unsupported. So those bridges that you're driving across, okay, maybe getting sand from those ridges, from those rivers has left those bridges very dangerous. Okay, there's a reason that okay, computer chips, and that demand is also soaring. And they say that the fracking industry needs durable, high purity grains, right? High purity, like high purity oil. And right here, yep, the grown so intense that in some places criminal gangs have gotten into the trade. So that makes things even more dangerous. lives. And even if you asked me what was the world's most consumed raw material after water, yeah, I don't think I would have guessed sand. And I'm certain that most people around the planet don't give this a thought at all. But something else that we are using beyond the rate of replenishment. So stay tuned, people.